What is going on YouTube and beyond? YouTube, it's been a while. Wanted to come at you with some exciting news. Also switch up the scenery a little bit. We're filming in my backyard here. As you can tell, I have my DJI Mavic Air 2 and the remote here placed right in front of me, so you probably know what this video is going to be about. Actually, I took my Part 107 exam last Friday before I took a trip over to Mississippi to visit a friend, but I passed. So good news, I took the test, I passed with a 70%, so that means I got 45 out of 60 questions correct, which is pretty good. So before taking the test, I myself was looking all over YouTube to see if there's anyone that has taken the test recently, like in September, August. So Bruno just took the test, I believe like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. He passed with an 80%. And so outside of him, I haven't really been able to find many resources on YouTube about what to expect, what to study, because obviously everyone's defaulting to like the Tony Northrup video for studying, and there's also other videos that I've seen that have basically said that everything that they've studied on those videos and on other, extracurricular resources wasn't on the test. And so I just wanted to provide some clarity what to expect on the Part 107 test as of September 2021. So about a month and a half ago, we decided to invest in this DJI Mavic Air 2, and following that, we decided to invest in a course. So we bought the Altitude Part 107 training course, which was $50. So this came with a variety of modules that allow you to really break down the Part 107 exam in chunks, followed by individual tests and exams. Obviously, there's a lot of other courses out there that you can take. One of them right here is Pilot Institute. So again, just do your research and see what kind of courses kind of fit your budget and your learning style. Obviously, there's people out there that are really good test takers. I'm not one of them, and so I knew that I needed to invest in a course. I needed to invest in additional resources because I'm not the type of individual to do everything on my own and be able to pass. I wasn't comfortable doing that. So that's the first thing I would recommend to everyone, is just look into external resources. There are definitely a lot of courses on Part 107. So do your research as far as, again, something that's actually going to provide you value, something that's current information. I think that's the biggest challenge with a lot of these Part 107 courses, is the exam is always changing, and so you want to invest in a course that has that updated information. Otherwise, you're studying and you're paying for outdated materials, and I don't want anyone to do that. So the Altitude University, that one was $50. I can drop a link down below if you're interested. I thought there was a lot of value for the money there. Obviously, there's courses that are, $200 to $300, and, those might be, better. I don't know. I didn't choose to invest in that. So it's just something to consider. Do a little bit of homework, see what's in your budget, see what you work with, see how you learn. So start with that. Give the test the respect it deserves. I remember I had a math professor my first year of CSUN, freshman year of college, and he said something that really stuck with me over the years. And he basically said, like, if you don't give material, tests, knowledge, in this instance, we're using the Part 107 material, the knowledge, the understanding of the concepts. If you don't give that the respect it deserves, then the test is going to disrespect you. Basically, is what he was saying. Is that if you don't give the material the respect it deserves, it will not respect you. And I think that's so true, especially for this exam. It's not easy. You're going to be studying things that you might not ever need to use. For example, learning the different class airspaces, right? Class A, Class B, Class G. That's super important because when you fly this thing, you have to be cognizant of airplanes or other things in the air and not just this. Obviously, you're not going to need to know how to land this thing on a runway at LAX with 50 passengers on board because it is a small unmanned aircraft, but the test is designed to force you to learn this material so you have an understanding and appreciation for the things that go on in the air. And so I definitely have built an appreciation for learning all of this stuff. And honestly, pilots, hats off to you guys, because I bet when you fly actual people and larger aircrafts, like imagine, like this is just for an unmanned aircraft. Imagine if you actually have to fly a real one. So just kind of putting into perspective there is give the material the respect it deserves. And I think my last tip here is just take practice tests over and over and over again and really beat that information into your head. I took so many practice tests, again, starting from a month ago when I first got that altitude course, all the way to the night before. I was, again, on YouTube rewatching Tony Northrup's video, really just banging that stuff in my head. Again, the fundamentals, right? For example, how high can you fly below the clouds? What's the maximum altitude that you need to be flying at all times? Referring to the legend, I think, oh my God, the legend has 90% of the answers that you're looking for. So I think it's really practicing the tests, like actually practicing the tests, because you start to get familiar with the material that way. And I want to say at least 50% of the questions that I got were pretty similar, if not identical, to the ones in the practice test. Now, that's not to say study the answers, but it's to say that, like, if you study the practice tests and you do them over and over and over again, those questions will be a piece of cake. Obviously, there were certain questions on there that I was super confused about. A lot of tricky questions about the new Part 107 rules. I remember there was one specific question about, like, when should a pilot, like, lower their anti-collision lights, and the answer was like never, only in emergency, and they should never be dimmed, something like that, right? So it's like little things that just kind of threw me off. So I wish I had some more answers for you as far as the ones that I missed specifically, but definitely the practice test, bang that information into your head, because that'll become second nature for you. And lastly, like, again, all you need is a 70%. So to pass this certification, you just need a 70%. I got a 70%. That means I got 15 wrong. So walk into that test knowing that you have some bandwidth, right? Like, you don't need a 90% to pass. You don't need an 80% to pass. You just need a 70% to pass. So that means you can only get up to 15 wrong. And when you're taking the test, you can there's like this setting where you can just like check mark it for later. So let's say you're going through the test and you're confused on a specific question, save it for later and just keep in your head, like, I only need to get 15 wrong. I only can get up to 15 wrong. So, you know, there should be like 15 questions that if you don't know the answer to, that's fine. Give it your best guess and then just keep moving forward, and just know whether you get a 70% or 100%, you get the same credential, the same license. So try not to be as nervous, get a good night's sleep the night before, and practice the material, give it the respect it deserves, and yeah, use the legend. I think that was probably the best advice that I learned is, you know, they're gonna ask you, like, what airspace is this? And you look on the figure and it's a dotted or dashed blue line, and then you go to the chart materials, the chart supplements, the guide, and reference that. Like, you don't have to like bear yourself, overthink it. Use the supplement, use the guide to your advantage, because I want to say at least 10 to 15 questions were all on the guide itself. So it's not like they're trying to, you know, throw you for a loop here. They just want to see, like, does this guy or this gal know that the answers are in the guide? So also the proctor, I took it in Pacoima, the proctor mentioned that a lot of people go in there without studying, you know? So if you don't give it the respect it deserves, you don't go in there prepared, you don't know that most of the answers are right in front of you in the guide, then yes, you're going to fail. So I would encourage you to also you know, look up similar YouTube reviews, YouTube videos like this one, and see what other feedback people have to say. Like, actually get other perspectives on the test. Everyone's going to have different value, different feedback. And that's one thing that I learned by watching several YouTube videos, is they recommended use the chart supplement. If I didn't go out of my way to refer to these resources and see what other people had to say, I probably would have just walked in there and guessed. So just do your research, be prepared. Again, all you need is a 70% to pass, and then really like you'll recoup those costs with the work that you're able to do once you have your Part 107 license. Hope you found this video helpful. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to, give some information to you so that you can take it to your studying, to any supplementary work that you're doing right now. And if you have any specific questions, you want me to review like a test, you have a specific question, leave it in the comments down below. I want to make some more content about this because I couldn't find many resources about the test in September 2021, and so I hope I can be a resource to you in that regards. You can do it. I promise you it's not that hard. Even if you're not a good test taker like myself, just study, give it the respect it deserves, and I'm sure you'll be licensed soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.